There are two broad styles of leadership: leadership by example and leadership by force. Leaders who lead by example are those who inspire their followers through their own actions and virtues, while leaders who lead by force rely on their authority or position to command obedience. My name is Saint Simon, and with great enthusiasm I welcome you to the final episode of the Peaky Blinders Season 1. In this episode we will see these two styles of leadership. Both Thomas and the agent are introverts, but express themselves differently. We saw their leadership throughout the entire season, and now we will see the final results of their decisions. This is the final of this season. It's time for the climactic conclusion to all that Thomas worked towards.
What's going on? We're doing it today.
Opening shot. The agent visits the underworld. He is a corrupted and immoral man. He goes to the whorehouse because he feels lonely. He feels lonely because he's unattractive. He is unattractive because he lacks power. We saw throughout the season multiple times on multiple examples that attractiveness is less about looks but about power. It's all about the power you radiate. Corrupted by lust, the agent acts against his own principles. He's not loyal to his own principles. In the last episode, Thomas has found heaven, while the agent has found hell. In this episode, the agent continues his downward spiral, while Thomas continues his upward spiral. He recruits everyone for the final day. Today is the day they take down Billy Kimber to play the switch. The agent feels unworthy of love because Grace broke his heart. His reaction is evilness. Instead of taking responsibility, his response is blame and hate. Typical nice guy behavior. The agent knows that what he does is bad, but he still does it because he is already in hell, blinded by his ignorance.
You have betrayed every principle and standard of honor that was your birthright. And for what?
The most interesting thing about ignorance is that people who are ignorant project their own image upon others. You see in others what you see in yourself. The montage where Grace reads the letter and the agent blames her, every word he says about her is about him. He's talking about himself, projecting everything onto her. This is ignorance. This is nice guy behavior. Nice guys tend to fall in love with girls due to lust, and then, when they get rejected, this lust turns into hate, projecting their own insecurities onto others. This behavior isn't limited to dating, but also extends to leadership, as we also saw in Gladiator. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the three gates to hell: lust, hate, and greed. The agent is here taking the gates of lust and hate straight to hell, complete corruption, living in ignorance, bitterness, hate, and envy. One of the main traits of nice guys is that they pretend to be nice to women, but actually treat them badly. Thomas pretends to be bad, but treats women gently. This is what a gentleman is: a man who is a leader, someone who is powerful, someone who can handle power. A gentleman is someone who uses his power gently for the good of others. The agent has no real power, which is why he's not a real man, and all the power he has, he can't handle and abuses for his own good. That's why the agent is rejected even by the woman he pays for love.
It's curious, Inspector. I thought you came here to clean up the city, not to sleep with its whores.
Thomas has eyes and ears everywhere and confronts the agent.
Before the day is over, your heart will be broken. Just the same as mine.
Nice guys often believe that when a girl breaks their heart, they are now doomed and not worthy of love, and now can break the hearts of others out of hate, because everything is meaningless anyway. However, what we learn from Stoic principles is that it's not about what happens to us, but how we react to it. Our reaction to circumstances defines our character. It's okay to be rejected, and it's okay to be heartbroken, but if ignorance is your reaction, then that's your decision. Now that the guns are recovered, it's just a matter of time until Thomas finds out the truth about Grace. Let's see how he will react.
Men like us, Mr. Shelby, will always be alone. And what love we get, we will have to pay for.
You forget, Inspector. I have my family.
One of the greatest skills that you can learn to leverage your leadership skills is the skill of public speaking. This is definitely a skill you should work on. As a leader, no matter the context, public speaking will be adventurous to boost morale, foster a bond among people, and inspire and motivate others to take action.
Right. Brought you all here today because this is the day we replace Billy Kimber. This is the day we become respectable. The day we join the official National Association of Racecourse Bookmakers. But first, we do the dirty work.
In his speech, Thomas utilizes rhetorical pauses, as the art of drama. He speaks inclusively as we to create bond and engagement as a team feeling, and he employs anaphora as rhythmic, flow, and momentum. While Thomas prepares for the big plan, he also creates another leverage. Remember the past episodes when we explored the art of leverage? The art of leverage is all about turning disadvantages into advantages and create opportunities. Thomas is without leverage at the moment, but he anticipates the need for it in case something goes wrong. That's why he ensures to get Freddy out of prison. By doing so, he A. wins back the favor of his sister Ada, who rejoins the family, and B. gains Freddy as a loyal member of his team, serving as a secret ace.
You have a pint and a chaser, no more, on the house. Let's get pouring.
Tommy, man of the folk, pouring and sharing with everyone to boost morale.
You did a good job, Grace.
Thomas gives compliments. This is once again a small detail, but it's crucial in great leadership, as we saw with Maximus. Thomas opens even more to Grace. He is completely open. No Shelby persona. He is completely himself around her and wants her to join his family. But she now feels bad for going rogue and for betraying him.
The barrel needs changing.
Thomas jokes around, but he can see and feel that something is off.
I have done something terrible to you.
He can see a future with Grace, where they build a legal empire together. She becomes part of his family and they enjoy a life of happiness in heaven. A happy ending for Thomas. But Grace can't have that. She feels guilty because she betrayed him. She lied to him all the time that she is in fact a spy. She wants to tell him the truth, but they get interrupted.
What's going on?
We're being fucking betrayed. Someone let slip. Kimber's men are on the way here.
Yeah, but you can handle them, Tommy.
It's just us. All the leads are on the way to Worcester. We're outnumbered.
The Peaky Blinders again got betrayed, and we know by whom. We know who the imposter is.
Who else did you tell? There's only one thing can blind a man as smart as you, Tommy. Love.
And now Thomas also knows who the imposter is. He's now realizing what Grace did. Now Thomas' heart also got broken. The agent and Thomas are in a similar position. She broke both their hearts. Polly confronts Grace. Here we see again Polly's Shelby persona. Mystique, mysterious, silent, non-reactive, fearless and powerful. The tension increases.
Nah, we women have more sense.
Polly is intelligent and understands the art of war. The smartest warrior is the one who never goes to war. She calms down the situation and talks. Polly don't need violence to show power. She shows her power through calmness under pressure. Polly is here a symbol for mother of family and symbolically mother of Thomas. Grace meets therefore Thomas' mom.
Did you fall for Tommy?
Polly opens herself to understand Grace. She also tests her character.
What was he like? Before France? He laughed. A lot. He wanted to work with horses.
Like we saw in the previous episodes, Thomas was not always like he is today. He used to be Thomas all the time, but friends changed him. This is where he created the Shelby persona, a self-mechanism to survive in a dark world. Polly threatens Grace to leave the city because she is a snitch. This is a classic mother example who tries to protect her son.
Maybe what really upsets you is the thought that one day you might lose him.
This is also a classic example of a mother who has feared to lose his son to another woman. Thomas meets his end. He realizes that he was blinded by love to see the truth, and now because of his blindness he brought his men in danger.
All right, men. Things have changed. We fight them here, today, alone. That pub there is called the Garrison. Well, now it really is one. And it belongs to us, right? Right! It's us, the Small Eater Rifles.
Arthur, Scud boat, you take the flanks, just like at San Marie. Sure. Curly, if any Shelby man dies here today, you bury us side by side.
He uses rhetorical questions to create engagement. He also again uses we to include everyone. You bury us side by side underlines that we mentality. We all or none. One for all and all for one. He gives clear instruction and uses the strengths of each individual to position them right. While Thomas fights bravely with his men on the front line and embraces death with courage and bravery, the agent is metaphorically on a white horse outside of the battlefield in safety using immoral strategies. Again betraying his own principles and playing dirty for his own personal vendetta.
Let the beasts devour each other, and then we shall pick the bones.
Policemen are disappointed at Agent because he's fake. He made big words, but his action shows something different. Bad leadership. Big words, but no deeds. Thomas is respected because he fights brave and intelligent, with his men on the front line. And the agent is disrespected because he's an immoral coward who hides in safety.
You're bad men, but you're our bad men.
Even though Thomas is a gangster, people still root for him, because like we saw in the whole season, he has a good heart underneath.
She's in the past. The past is not my concern.
Thomas' heart was broken, but he is stoic about the breakup, cold, detached. He tries to suppress feeling by playing Shelby persona, but it's only an ego survival mechanism to suppress the pain. The vision of a happy ending is now gone.
The future is no longer my concern either.
What is your concern, Tommy?
The 1 minute.
Thomas accepts death. He pokered too high and now he pays the consequences. But he don't whines or blames. He takes full responsibility and embraces the consequences. Here we see the biggest difference between a nice guy and a real man. Their reaction to life's circumstances. Thomas doesn't blame Grace or anyone else. He takes full responsibility. This is power. This is real leadership. What is the difference between a soldier and a leader? The leader holds responsibility. He is responsible for his men and for the success of his mission. He is accountable, and to be able to handle that power, that is leadership. Thomas and his few close men versus the Kimber army. The final resolution.
Just give the order.
Kimber has more men and more weapons, so he has clearly the advantage. However, Thomas is an intelligent leader, which is why he created a leverage beforehand.
Sergeant Thorne, reporting for duty, sir. You were saying something about being outgunned.
Now it's even. The stakes have increased and now they're all about to die. The level of seriousness increases.
What are you doing?
I believe you boys call this no man's land.
Ada!
Shut up and listen.
Have you lost your
I
mind?
said shut up!
Ada is Thomas' sister and shares many similarities with him. She also has great potential as a leader, being undoubtedly one of the smartest in the family alongside Thomas and Polly.
I want you all to look at me. Who'll be wearing black for you?
Ada employs here the art of drama, going between them. This is again Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Show rather than tell. Kimber starts to shoot and hits Thomas and Donnie. Kimber's shooting is loose and sloppy because he as leader is sloppy. Expression of his being. Thomas' shot is clean and precise. Expression of his being. Similar to Maximus, you can see the character of a person in all what they do, because all we do is a subconscious expression of our consciousness. You can see a man's character by the way he sits.
Enough! It's over. Go home to your families.
Battle is over, the Peakies won. 2 casualties, 1 wounded.
To Danny was bang.
Danny.
We all died twice.
While the agent is alone in pain all by himself, Thomas is with his family sharing pain together.
Who won?
Mr. William Kimber has been found dead, a gunshot wound. So I'm guessing that means Peaky Blinders won.
The agent is alone in his office in the dark, realizing that he has lost. All by himself, lonely, in misery. Both the agent and Thomas are heartbroken, but they are in different situations. Thomas is a real leader because he's with his family celebrating his victory, while the agent is alone, the loser, all by himself. To be a leader, you need people around you to lead. This is the principle of a mastermind alliance. Over the course of the last episodes, Thomas has won the trust of his family members. He solved their problems and so earned their loyalty. He was there for them. He gave them a feeling of importance, made them feel valued, and positioned them in the right spots. While Thomas made new friends and expanded his family, the agent made enemies with everyone, including his own people. He treated his men and Grace arrogantly and acted selfishly, sacrificing his own people for his personal vendetta. Now, here, we see the results of both leadership styles. Thomas started alone and built a team around him, becoming the leader of that team. They chose to follow him. In contrast, the agent started with a team but lost their trust, causing them to choose to leave him. Thomas leads by example, while the agent leads by force. This is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There are two broad styles of leadership: leadership by example and leadership by force. Leaders who lead by example are those who inspire their followers through their own actions and virtues. Thomas embodies multiple qualities such as loyalty, bravery, and courage, earning the respect and loyalty of his followers. On the other hand, leaders who lead by force rely on their authority or position to command obedience. The agent's power is based on rank rather than virtues. This form of leadership is less effective because it does not generally engage his followers. True leadership comes from being a person others choose to follow. Real power comes from our virtues and actions.
Shelby Brothers Limited are now the third largest legal racetrack operation in the country. Only the Sabinis and the Solomons are bigger than us, boys.
Thomas has reached his goal. He leveraged himself and his family to a new level of power and wealth. Thomas makes his conclusion of the season. On the one side, Thomas wants to be with her. Even though she was a spy, her love to him was real. But on the other side, he also wants to work on his business. He worked so hard for his position and he doesn't want to start a new life with her in New York yet. We discovered over the past episodes that the love story of Thomas and Grace is also a twin flame story. If you want a separate video about twin flame stages, write it in the comments. Here we have stage 4, separation. Both are now separated for a while from each other to evolve as individuals. End. What a season! Great ending. Thomas did it. He leveraged himself and his family from the hood to the golden circles of high society. Are you interested in season 2? Write it in the comments. The next video that will come are Planet of Apes, case study of Caesar, and The Godfather, case study of Michael Corleone. A world I would also like to dive in is the universe of The Last Samurai, samurai leadership. And from the last community votes, you would also like to see Fight Club, modern masculinity. My name is Saint Simon, thanks for tuning in, it's always a pleasure to have you here and I'm excited to see you in the next video.